hate our rebrand, but I'm here to reassure you, we have a vision here. We hear you.
This might be the worst rebrand of anything since HBO Max decided to drop the HBO bit and just be called Max.
Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a new goal of 1,400 subscribers. I'd be so thrilled if you actually join me here on this channel. We talk about woke issues, we talk about entertainment, and of course we talk about Doctor Who when we chill out on a Sunday. But when I was thinking about what I could do for this particular video, I thought let's have a look at what people are saying about the Jaguar rebrand. Now, recently they have just released their concept cars, they've done their presentation. It looks completely naff. That's just my opinion. If you like the car, that's absolutely fine. It's up to you if you like it or not. But the cost of the car is absolutely ridiculous. We estimated that it was going to be £100,000. It's not. It's going to be way more than that. It's going to be £150,000. So this rebrand, these new cars, they're aimed at a smaller group of people and younger people. They're hoping to get millennials on board, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, hoping to get those people on board. We can't afford those cars at £150,000. You'd have to sell like a ridiculous amount. Their rebrand has cost them a lot of money. They're looking at getting rid of 85% of their current clientele, or at least that's their guesstimate. I can see things going majorly wrong. Okay, so we're going to look at some TikToks. This first TikTok is from someone who works in branding.
Let's talk about the Jaguar rebrand because I have some thoughts. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the last few days, Jaguar rebranded and released this. The internet outrage meme machine immediately went into overdrive and, well, they've made their opinion clear. Nobody likes this rebrand, and let me tell you why. The Jaguar Motor Car Company has been around since 1922, over 100 years, and they've released classics like the E-Type, which Enzo Ferrari considered the most beautiful car in the world, the XJ220, an absolutely incredible experimental supercar, and most recently, the F-Type, one of the best-sounding Jaguars ever built. Now, Jaguar is apparently changing direction to become an all-EV company, so the company decided to go from this, a classic, gorgeous mark, to a lipstick company. Now look, I work in the branding and design world, and I've seen some really successful rebrands. Kia is a great example. As controversial as it is, that logo just works. But this, going from this classic mark to Junior for the badge, just doesn't make sense. It throws away years of history. Now, a brand is way more than just the logo. It signals history, significance, and where it comes from. It takes a long time to build that reputation, to build that promise, that trust in a brand that when you buy a Jaguar, you are getting what the Jaguar brand promises. With this new rebrand, they're basically throwing all of that history away, all of that cultural relevance to create something new. And while I respect their attempt to do something new, Temu Joker meets Homelander isn't going to do it. The firm's manager or director said, "Those angered by the rebrand are no longer the target market, as it seeks to attract a new, younger audience with the all-electric range." Now let's talk about that, because like I said, it takes a long time to build a brand's trust. It's going to take a whole lot longer for them to convince these younger buyers that Jaguar is the brand to buy, especially when younger buyers don't have the kind of cash the luxury market does. And so they're going to alienate their existing customer base. They're going to not be able to attract as many of these young customers as it's going to take to keep the brand alive. So I think they're in trouble with this new direction. And let's be honest, they're still trying to appeal to luxury buyers, but just putting white gloves on and holding some sort of silver and gold badge that's hideous isn't going to do it. This badge right here doesn't scream luxury to me. This screams startup jewelry company that's made for tweens. That's not going to convince buyers to buy a Jaguar.
They're going to really struggle getting people on board with this because, like I said, they're cutting 85%. They do not want these people who don't like their rebrand. They haven't just gone for a slow rebrand. They're going full 180. They're doing the 180-degree turn, and they have completely rebranded rather than introducing it to people slowly. Now, I'm not a branding expert. I don't really know how rebranding works, whether you do a 180 or whether or not you do it slowly. But it's a big shock for people going from the classic Jaguar logo to something that is junior, having very distinctly shaped cars as he's shown in the TikTok here, to having a very generic cookout back type of sports car. You are relying on this in order to sell yourselves to the younger generations, the new clientele that you want to gain. And it's a huge risk to take, and the chances of them surviving it.
Oh, Jaguar is currently going through the same rebranding that most companies are doing these days, and get woke, go broke. It's that process yet again. The companies seem to never learn their lesson with this, because people are fully going against this new change. You should watch the advert. It has nothing to do with an actual Jaguar car. In fact, they've barely even got the logo these days, and they've admitted that they're not going to be doing, it's all going to be electric engines. So anyway, the American marketing guru who masterminded Jaguar's woke rebrand, BLM supporting executive from New York who lives with Scottish husband and their cockapoo Mia, boasted of British car icon's transformative journey. You wouldn't be boasting now, mate, because it is not looking good for your fucking CV, I'll tell you that much. But at the same time, how do companies learn this by now? How do they not understand this? And also, I didn't know this, Jaguar, British car company, now owned by an Indian company, and it's now being rebranded by an American. So there's just everything going on. My dad used to have a 1969 Jag, a beautiful car, and now they're going full electric. And people are boycotting this. You should go and have a look at the advert. It actually has nothing to do with actual cars.
This TikTok really highlights the chaos and the mess that's currently going on in Jaguar. Just listen to what he's saying. They've gone from their 1960s classics, beautiful cars, unique shaped cars, to a very generic looking one. And it's not solely the property of the UK anymore. It's India, of course, working with it. And we have our American guru and has done the woke rebranding, as it has been dubbed. And is it woke? Absolutely, because they're trying to recognize a social injustice that apparently there is and jump on the bandwagon of, we're going to do this. We are going to cater for the smaller groups. And we don't care if you like it or not. We're prepared to take a hit. We have no plan B. And trust me, they have said that. They have no plan B. This is Bud Light 2.0 or 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, whatever you want to call it. Companies have seen what happened to other companies when they have gone woke and they have gone down this particular route. And other companies have completely backtracked on it, saying it was the wrong thing to do and this is what they're going to be doing now because it damaged their brand. I wonder how long it would take for Jaguar to walk this back. And honestly, this is probably going to cost them a lot more money than it would have done something like for Bud Light. Even though Bud Light didn't rebrand, they had Dylan Mulvaney. Going down a different route that does not cater for your consumer just shoots yourself in the foot. Yeah, this is going to be much more expensive for Jaguar compared to what happened to Bud Light, I think.
I've never seen a company butcher their logo this bad. So Jaguar just released their new logo to go with the brand's new EV rebirth, and it's worse than any brand's logo redesign you've ever seen. Here is their official new typeface. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say it looks like they were just scrolling through random fonts, picked one, and typed out the word Jaguar. Of course, it's meant to look sleek and modern to align with the brand's shift into electric cars because that's what everybody's doing, but it just looks boring as hell. There's more to this weird new redesign, you'll see in a second. But they also dropped 2 more logos as well. This one they're calling their new monogram, which basically looks like a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton or a Chanel logo. I think it's what's going to be on the front of their new cars that come out in 2026. And then this is their secondary logo. It'll probably be on like the door sills or something, but it's called a strike through and it keeps the actual Jaguar alive. It actually looks pretty good too. This is a shame because Jaguar had 2 of the most iconic logos in the entire auto industry. This one, the Leaper, and then this head-on Jaguar, which just looks so clean. So the rest of their rebrand is even weirder. They dropped this teaser trailer on their website today, and as you could tell from the imagery, it looks like they're selling lipstick or something. They released a bunch of new taglines that they're going with, like copy nothing or delete ordinary or live vivid. I've never seen a car brand take this much of a shift in marketing, so this could either be amazing for the brand and we could see the best comeback ever, or it's going to be a dumpster fire. Only time will tell.
So I actually said it before, the Jaguar logo, the written logo, actually looks like they've gone through something like Microsoft Word and tested out different fonts and gone with that one because it looks sleek, it looks modern, it looks fresh. Now the strike through of the Jaguar leaping and through that grille, that's not as bad as the written logo or the new disc logo that they've got coming out. I don't mind that one so much. The disc logo though does look like a Chanel logo or a Louis Vuitton logo. It's going down that designer route. You know, designers like to keep things very simple. The simplicity in designers' logos tend to actually be what makes the designer. You know who that designer logo is associated with. But with things like car companies, motorbike companies, it needs to be striking. It needs to be attention grabbing, because you're not wearing this car. You're not modeling this car. You're driving it. And I feel like car logos compared to designer logos need to be much more striking. Whereas designer logos for clothes, bags, shoes, keep it more simple, because what they're presenting to you with their fashion is something that is much more vivid, much more striking. So if they keep the logo simple, it doesn't overpower their product. But for something like a car, because cars tend to have a much more simple design in terms of presentation, the logos need to grab your attention. They are the ones that need to be the most striking. And I think by keeping it a very plain Jane, it's not going to actually grab anyone's attention. All the TikToks are linked below. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like the video if you would like to. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?